Test, test. Okay. How do I change this title? Okay. Stream settings. How do you edit the stream settings? Hello, hello. How's it going? How you doing? How you doing? I'll just wait for a few people to join, and then I will start doing a Q&A. Peak elevation. How's it going? Let's go. How's it going, Kingsley? Change it in here, apparently. Hope this doesn't bug out stream. All right, we'll just leave it at that. How's it going, Kingsley? How we doing, everybody? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, say hello in the chat so I know you guys are here. And we'll just give it like 2 minutes and then we'll just go into like a Q&A. So any questions that you guys have about YouTube or business in general, mindset, lifestyle, anything that you want to know, go ahead and leave it down below and we can answer that in a minute. And yeah, start leaving them now and I can answer them in a second. Can you guys hear me all right as well? Appreciate it. I'm glad that it motivates you. So yeah, start dropping your questions down below. Any questions you have, and I'll answer them. We'll probably keep it short. How's it going? Hello, hello. Pop out. All right. I have a question here. I'm in my I'm in my 3rd year of uni. I have a part-time job in an aerospace company. Trying to understand how to balance time. Well, how many days do you work? How many days do you work at this place, first of all? And then how many days do you have to put into uni? That'd be a good start. And while he answers that, I'll answer some other questions. New to YouTube automation, I just wanted to ask when you started, like me starting with low resource, how do you do it? When I first started YouTube, I just grinded out the videos myself. So, yeah, I just basically, I knew how to edit already. I knew how to make thumbnails already. So I kind of had the skills there. So when I first started, I just kind of grinded it out. And then I found search, which is a lot better than kind of the other stuff I was doing. And so I kind of just made loads of videos every single day. Like the thing about YouTube search, which is really good, is it's a model that can work for anybody if they're willing to put in the time. So Do good keyword research, make really good high quality videos on these topics, really help people out. Make sure your goal is always to help people out, and then you'll do well. And essentially, you can just make the videos yourself. There's no reason that you can't do that. There's a lot of people doing that. People like Guide Realm. He's still doing the videos himself, and he's doing huge numbers, 12 million views per month, sort of thing. So yeah, you can just do it yourself. Why do some videos on high RPM topics have very low RPM? Let's say like $1 to $2, even though it must be over 50. I mean, one reason could be that it's not got enough views yet to kind of level out. Second reason is maybe it's just a low RPM topic. Sometimes that can happen. Cardinal, how's it going? Appreciate you being here, bro. So you work 5 days part-time and 3 days for uni. Yeah, so what you've got a few approaches for it. You ideally want to do your work in like 2-hour batches. Anything below that, it takes you a little bit of time to kind of get into it. You don't want to like context switch where you kind of are bouncing from different things. So if you can find like, let's say you've got 2 or 3 days a week that you can solidly put 2, 3, or 4 hours into it, block those out and just do that. And you don't want to do like half an hour here and there because it takes you time to kind of get into the rhythm of what you're doing. But yeah, if you can do that, it's going to be really good. And also, you might have to say no to doing some stuff. Like you might, your friends might want you to go out with them or something like that. Like there might be occasions where you have to be like, sorry, I want to block this out for this sort of thing. So yeah, something else I'd say is delete your delete social media off your phone. That will help a lot if you delete stuff like that. I have full-time uni for my scholarship. I work 20 hours per week. Yes, it's gonna be tight, but you can like getting up early is gonna help as well. That's gonna be something useful. Does the algorithm prioritize search termination? The user watches my video and stops searching over CTR. If so, is that strong enough? Is that signal strong enough to rank with lower velocity but high satisfaction? That's a really complex question, to be honest. Good question. I don't know the answer to it, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Potentially, I mean, if someone watches your video and you give them the answer and they don't need to watch any other videos, then you will do well. You will rank because your video will rank, that sort of thing. High CTR is kind of directly correlated to your rank. So yeah. I can say it was accounting software, but other videos on the same software had $30, but some have 1 to 2. Yeah, that's kind of happens sometimes. Like some videos just have low RPMs. It could be that it's not got enough views. There's many reasons, but like, yeah, it can happen sometimes. I usually don't go out. I mostly spend a lot of time in school doing research with professors. Yeah, it's hard. Like you have to block out time. There is definitely time. I mean, what you can do, something that's like a good method of kind of plotting out your time is just like every 30 minutes for the next week, jot down what you've done in the previous 30 minutes. And what you'll figure out is there are actually time blocks within those, there's time blocks where you're doing something that's like on your phone or something where you could kind of cut that out and do something else instead that's productive for your business. That's a good one that can help because then you realize what's actually wasting a lot of your time and what isn't. Something else I'd say as well, make sure your work hours, like when you work on your business, are really, really productive. Don't just sit there and like doom scroll. Like really set out what you're gonna do and just aggressively do it. That's what I'd say. I keep social media to a minimum also. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard for you for sure because you've got such a busy schedule, but it can be done. Come to Koh Phangan, Thailand with me next week, brother. Koh Phangan's close actually to me. Wait, is it? Nah, let me check. I think I can take a boat there. I think it's like an hour boat. Oh no, it's very far. Yeah, sorry, mate. It's like 6 hours away. Maybe I can get a plane there. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's too far. If you're like a closer island, I'd be down. Um, like I'm on lunch break right now, winter break, and have winter break right now before uni starts again. So I have tons of free time. Yeah, right now just abuse your free time then. Just like really tap into your free time while you can. I think one thing that's very hard is that if you do have a job and you are at uni, it's definitely a struggle. So yeah. In 2025/2026, how much weight is the algorithm placing on auto-generated transcript spoken words compared to the title and description? Can I rank for a keyword by saying it frequently? I wouldn't try and like game the system like that. Um, in terms of like trying to say the keyword a lot. What I like to do when I start a video, and this isn't like an algorithm thing, it's more like a thing for the viewer. I like to say the title so they know they've come for the right video. And I like to get that in the like immediately so they know they've come to the right video. Ultimately, if you have a good video, it if you have a good video, then you're gonna do well. If your video is clear and explains the point in detail, but easy to understand, and they get satisfaction from it, long term you'll rank because there's so much just bad quality content out there that it's really easy to outrank it. So yeah, no worries, bro. Yeah, best of luck with that. Do voiceovers frustrate you? Like generate what isn't in the text, and how do you edit that out? You mean like mumbles and stuff? I think that's what you mean. You can like regenerate text on whatever you're using. I started YouTube in December. It's a storytelling niche. I want to start a search-based niche that costs zero to produce, that I can produce myself. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's no reason why you can't. There's no reason why you can't do that. Um, you just need to be consistent with it, really. Like if you can put in like if you could put in 8 hours per day, you'll do very, 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 very well. If you can put in even 2 hours a day, you're still going to do well. It's just not going to be as fast. But everyone has to start from somewhere, and so you have to take what you've got. And like ultimately, 2 hours is better than nothing. So if you've got 2 hours free, go ahead and do it. Produce the videos yourself. How do I get over procrastination? I really want to start YouTube, but I procrastinate, and niche research have been my problem. Well, to get over to get over procrastination, just don't procrastinate. No, I'm joking. Procrastination is a hard one. There's usually a few different reasons people procrastinate. People usually procrastinate because either two things. They don't know what to do, so they don't have enough information. So if you don't have enough information, then you need to learn. And then once you have the information, know what to do, then it's a lot easier to do it. Or the second thing is like you're just kind of scared that it won't work. If you're scared it won't work, then, or you're scared, as you say here, about the niche, then you have to understand that, your first niche isn't going to work. Your first few sort of, depending on what you're doing, your first niche probably won't be that good. But if you can just get that first one out of the way, then you're going to be on to the next one quicker. And the faster you can fail, the faster you can kind of make success. But like, what's the reason you think you procrastinate? Like, tell me that. That'd be good. How should I find keywords if I have a high budget? Well, um, there's a few different ways you can do it. We have a tool for it, which is in our Telegram. Um, if you have a high budget and a lot of time, you can kind of go through, like, really manually research it, and like you'll find some amazing keywords that you can really rank well for. What's your take on titles? What do you look at when choosing a title? And use an example of storytelling niche. How would you pattern your titles? So we don't actually do story stuff at all. I'm not a big fan of story stuff. I think that it borderlines YouTube compliance. Like, I think it's a bit on the edge of compliance. And I think it's not very long term. So that's why we just do search, because search is very simple. It's like you make a video that people are looking for, and if you give them a good answer and you help them out, then you're going to do well ultimately. Whereas, storytelling's hard. But if we were talking about just like YouTube in general, how do you pick your titles? There's a lot of different ways you can do it. One thing I always have in mind is that you want your like main emotional words at the start of the title, ideally. So for example, if someone's making a video about going to somewhere scary, they wouldn't put like, or they're making a top 10 list, they wouldn't put like top 10 places that are scary. You put like top 10 scariest places, because you get that word quicker, if that makes sense. That's my take on it, of that level. Keyword research, I don't know if it works for the storytelling niche. I mean, yeah, keyword research isn't really going to necessarily work for the storytelling niche, but in general, um, you can kind of, what I like to do is there's a few different ways you can do this. You can find existing formats that have done well. So, for example, the 7 levels of whatever was a format that's done very well recently. 7 levels of anime character or something, and you could take that and you can apply it to a new niche. You could be like 7 levels of, I don't know, water quality, or like 7 levels of speaker quality, or something like that uses the same format differently. So that's one thing you can do. That, like, you can basically take the format that's done well, essentially. Do you include affiliates in your videos? On your videos, you usually talk about software, but have you thought about making products, flights, travels, etc., and do your affiliates? So yeah, like, affiliates is a really good route to take with YouTube search. We just don't do it because it's kind of not what we've optimized our workflow to do. But you can do that, and it will do well. Like, there's guys that do very well with affiliate stuff. So it is a good strategy. Yeah. Does the velocity required to rank views per hour differ significantly for evergreen tutorials versus trending topics? Or does the algorithm treat all sudden spikes in velocity the same? Differ significantly for evergreen tutorials. Kind of confused by the question, really. If a video is trending and you're the first one there, you're going to rank faster. I guess that's something I could say. Is it better or worse to go for keywords of high competition? Better, for example, because more competition more likely means that there are more views too, but less competition, of course, easier to rank. Well, it kind of doesn't really matter. If something has more competition, obviously it's harder to rank. But as you say, like, a lot of the high competition ones have more views. So you can find ones that have high views and low competition. It's very doable. Like, there's a ton of them out there. Ultimately, the current YouTube search scene is basically like is pretty poor. Like the video quality is bad, the thumbnails are bad, the solutions are bad. People haven't really thought that long term. So if you make good videos, and there's a few guys that do good videos, like Guide Ram's one of them, and he just ranks forever. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily focus. Like you can basically outrank any video. Like competition isn't an issue if the videos are bad. Short term it's harder, but like long term, like you're gonna rank. Um, the young buck. Yeah, it kind of depends, really. It kind of depends. It depends on your strategy. Um, yeah, it really depends on your strategy, really. Is that a business model? Yeah. Any more questions? Feel free to drop them down below, and I'll answer them. What do you think of live pregnancy videos? You mean live pregnancy videos? um, honestly, I wouldn't go near it. It's just like and I mean, a better niche should be like the best pillows for pregnancy, the best yoga for pregnancy, the best sleeping position for pregnancy. Stuff that's like really safe. I watch them. They are allowed on YouTube. Full baby deliver videos with millions of views. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Hello, have you been affected by the wave of demonetization or authentic content? No, we haven't, because we've made sure the whole time we've made videos to be really sure that they're very compliant. Like when we do things, we don't want to do things that are risky because there's just no point. Just make sure you're really, really within YouTube's terms and like really, really make sure you're not doing anything borderline bad. Um, inauthentic content generally comes from people who are just like spamming rubbish, essentially. You, my friend, are going in the timeout. You're in the sin bin, sorry. Does it make sense to make tutorials on softwares that have hundreds of tutorials already, like Gmail, which even the high quality channels have broadly covered? Yeah, there's like honestly, there are a lot of untapped keywords out there. There are loads of untapped keywords out there for Gmail, and even so, like so many of the ones that are ranking now are just terrible. You know, there's a lot of things you can do to beat people, really. Into like, you can. There's a lot of things you can do to make your videos better overall. There's one channel that's blowing up for AI generated old person advice, like I am 75, I wanted 45. Yeah, I've seen this actually. They have really good prompting and storytelling, but everything AI, I'm kind of worried about monetization. Yeah, I've seen these. The way I see it with YouTube is that they basically have to embrace AI. They have to embrace it. If they don't embrace it, they're going to die. You know, Coca-Cola is making adverts with AI. If they don't embrace AI, then they're just going to die. So as long as the stuff is like high quality and has effort put into it, it's just not like a load of rubbish, then it should be all right. But it is quite a grey line, I would say, right now. So yeah, with the AI stuff, it is monetizable, or maybe you're asking a question? Yeah, I mean, AI stuff is, but like as long as it's not just AI rubbish, basically. Any more questions? Feel free to leave them down below. Crazy drop off. All right, drop some more questions down below. It can be about business, it can be about YouTube, it can be about mindset, it can be about productivity, it can be about lifestyle, it can be about anything. Is it better to make trending stuff for newest feature, or is it better to make stuff for legacy software? I mean, trending stuff will get a spike, but can likely die off quick. I mean, that's what happens with video games, at least. If the software is going to stay around, then yeah, it can do well. Like AI stuff's always blowing up now. Like there's a lot of AI softwares out there. Um, yeah. Can you show us your workflow for like developing prompts and what tools you use for researching trends? So, in terms of developing prompts, we kind of just use the approach that you can just remove a lot of the steps overall. You can remove a lot of steps and um, you can add things back if you need to. Yeah, basically, take a human, map out a human flow of something, and then figure out which ones don't really need to be there, which ones can be done with AI, which one can be done with code, and then that way you'll be able to break it down a lot. How did you figure out your systems for running your business? To be honest, it's just it's a lot of years of just being in business. I started off with e-commerce like 7 years ago or more, 8 years ago, 8 years ago, and from that, like I had to hire virtual assistants. I had to build out like processes and SOPs. So from that, you kind of understand like what people are capable of, where things get mixed up, like error points, and so just from that, you kind of learn how to manage a team, sort of thing. Even when I was doing e-commerce, I had like a in-person warehouse, and we had a food business, and we had to systemize the production, I guess you could say, of the food, where we'd have to like make it efficient. We'd have to, you know, calculate how much stock we need, and we went through lots of different, iterations of the process, and then we kind of figured out which ones are the most efficient, and like, yeah, so it's kind of just like experience, really. Bro, I live in Africa. It's so hard to do content. I mean, we work a whole day just for $10. Any advice? I can't get out from here. It's hell, man. Can I do this YouTube search alone? Me alone? Yeah, it's tough. Like, is tough. Um, in a lot of situations like that, there's really not a good answer. Like you just have to find the time to like do it, and it's tough because obviously, yeah, like working 10 hours, working a whole day is tough. But if you can find the time, then you can, you got to do it. What are the processes your editors doing a tutorial for your channels? So we don't usually kind of use editors really, um, because most of the time for tutorials it's not that complex. It's just usually like a screen recording and like a few other bits. The only time we use an editor is if we stitch like a face cam onto a video, then we'll need like an editor. But other than that, we don't really need it. And that's kind of what I mean about like taking out parts of the process you don't really need. Yeah, that's like yeah. Do you think yeah, that's a good output. No worries, no worries. What's the minimum capital to start YouTube search channel? Hoping to start this year. Really depends. I mean, really depends on your goal. Like you can do it for very little budget. You can do it yourself with no budget if you want to. What I would say is put in what you're comfortable putting in. Don't overextend yourself. Don't put too much in. Just put what you're comfortable in, and then start from there. Start slow because ultimately you can start slow today, or you can do nothing for the whole year, and then you'll be in the same position. So it's better to start slow, but actually make progress than make no progress. Have you ever faced copyright issues and how do you resolve them? Copyright issues are a rarity. It mostly comes down to making sure you're not doing keywords that can get copyright issues and avoiding certain companies and softwares that are known for giving issues essentially. Notion is so good. I was thinking to do Notion business. What do you think? Yeah, Notion's good for sure. Yeah, any more questions, feel free to leave them. Can you try briefly the services that you have on Telegram? Why are they useful? Um, yeah, I mean, we've basically kind of spent like 3 years, more than 3 years, basically building up the process for YouTube search and kind of just testing, seeing what works and what doesn't. And so we've basically got like a pretty good system now where, you know, it does very well and like it's very simple to do. Whereas like when we first started, it was just like it was all in the air. Like when I look at my first videos compared to now, like they're completely different because when I first started, I didn't know what to do. Like I was naming the titles weirdly and stuff, and like basically, we've got a lot of experience. We kind of just helped to teach that really. How you're not famous, man? I don't know. How are you not famous, man? I don't know. Do you have any plans for the future? Yeah, I have some plans for the future. Um, most of the most of the yeah, I kind of just treat YouTube like kind of like a business. And so we're like basically just we basically now got to a point where we have a manager, we have a team in place where everything's kind of automated by itself. So it gives a lot of us a lot of free time to work on other things now. And so we spend not much time on YouTube now, really. It's like less than an hour a week, I would say. And so yeah, we have a lot of cool things we do, many different projects. There's so much stuff I want to do, but like obviously you can't do everything at once, so you have to kind of be very choosy with what you do. I'm starting to double down on videos that have worked well and money wise. How do you analyze your videos to improve them yourself? Split testing is good. So if you split test, split test batches, I think do batches of like, I think the lowest batch size you probably want to do is like 100. And then you can split test things like split test the intro, split test the video length, the thumbnail, and you'll basically be able to look at stuff like you can just take the batch as a whole and see like what percent of them ranked, what percent of them, uh, what was the AVD on these videos compared to these ones. I've been testing some stuff and like you can see there's different AVDs based on how you style the video sort of thing. What are your ambitions and stuff and what keeps you going? Ambitions. I want to. I don't really have many kind of ambitions in that sense. I kind of just enjoy doing what I'm doing. Like I just enjoy making businesses, solving problems. That's kind of that's like what I enjoy to do. Um, and so yeah, that's kind of just the one big goal. What keeps you going? Just why not in it? I don't know what's going on in the comments right now, but yeah, that was not me. Yeah, no more flipping employee talking here, please. This is this is not online jobs. It's insane how everyone's RPM sucks except ours right now. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's what you see in January. January, you see. January, you see huge spikes in RPMs for business stuff because businesses are starting the year, they're planning everything out, they're picking what softwares to use for the year, so they're just spending more money on stuff. And so January, we see great RPM spikes compared to December. We see it kind of goes down actually. Yeah, Q1's always great. Any more questions? Let me know. If you do a tutorial that's already there, can you get striked? Of course not. It's like saying if I make if I make a video that Mr. Beast has already made, can I get striked? Of course not. As long as you're not copying the video, then you're fine. All right. Any more questions while we're gonna finish up in like 5 minutes. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to let me know. If there's any questions I didn't answer on here, then feel free to message me in Telegram. I'll just put something here. But yeah, ask me some questions here and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Well, I think that's all. I think that's all the questions there are. Oh, we have one more. Can you do like a challenge or competition so someone can win a slot in your private channel? Maybe I'll do a giveaway someday. Anyway, thank you everybody for the questions. It was a good stream. A lot of interesting things here. And yeah, speak to you guys soon.